Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
Legion, Legion, Legion.
Get some.
Don't summon her. She'll be back next week. That's right, kids. Lilith Hellfire returns. She punched her way out of that crystal prison. She'll be back next week. All right, kids. Welcome back to another episode of Unlimited Justice. Again, this is our last week of Sub-tember, so yes, joining me for the final time here to talk Legion one more time, Mr. Will Allred.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
And this one is not even just the lead. Final Crisis, not so Final Crisis, Legion of Three Worlds. So we'll get three versions of the Legion. We'll get Superboy-Prime, we'll get Superman, we'll get the return of Superboy, Connor Kent, and Kid Flash, Bart Allen.
Or Impulse before he was Kid Flash. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a lot of continuity cleanup in this, but
bringing back lots of dead two dead characters.
Killing a few characters.
And the Superboy-Prime story is not over. At least not at this point.
Oh my! When did he come back after this?
He does come back. I was even looking over on. I was looking on the internet, his wiki, just to refresh my memory. He does come back a few more times, and then I think it's a special during Death Metal where like he actually does go back to Earth Prime, and it is good. But like at the end of the story, he like saves a kid from getting run over by a car. You know, does the old Action Comics #1.
But I thought he was in Earth. Spoilers. I thought he was in Earth Prime at the end of this
I
one.
know, but it's all dark and twisted. But yeah, but I think they actually tried to give him a happy ending at the end of Death Metal or whatever.
Okay. Wow. Cool. I did not know that. I've got Death Metal. I need to read it.
Well, it was a one shot, so I don't know did you get the one? I forget what it was like secret. It was like dark. It was like Dark Metal Secret Identity #1 or something. Yeah.
I think I got the last stories of the multiverse and one or two others that were more Green Lantern specific. So
yeah, they had a bunch of tie-ins, but yeah, that was one of them.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of crazy.
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, should we jump right into these? Because yeah, we got 5 jam-packed issues. All right, kids. Because yes, Final Crisis, Legion of Three Worlds, #1 from October 2008. I was gonna say, where's my? There we go. Writer Jeff Johns. Penciler the great George Perez. Of course,
very much missed.
Yes, very much missed. Like I said, the amount of characters they had in these issues. Yeah, you needed George Perez to do this issue. Anchor Scott Kobelish, colorist Hi-Fi Design, letterer Nick J. Napolitano, and editors Eddie Berganza and Adam Shagman. All right, he's back, kids. The Time Trapper stands at the end of time and compares the legion of superheroes to the cockroaches he's surrounded by. He struggles to think of a way to destroy them, as his plan to make them forget Superman failed. Taking a boy who is lost in time and throwing him into the 31st century, Time Trapper declares that the Legion will live no longer. Almost seems like a different Time Trapper. Meh.
I think so. Maybe.
Back on Earth, 2 xenophobic farmers in Smallville named John and Mara watch the Earthman trial on television. He is convicted of 24 criminal counts, including treason, and sentenced to Takron Galtos. Man, just think if they would have found the stuff buried at his country club. Hey-oh.
Yeah.
That's right. I said it. This does little to resolve the tensions of a brewing race war as humans continue attacking aliens on Earth and aliens continue attacking humans on their own planets. June and Mara see a figure crash in their fields and take a shotgun to kill the alien scum. This figure, well, they were kind of right. This figure is revealed to be Superboy-Prime, who insists that his name is Superman and fries them with heat vision. Not all aliens are scum, but Superboy-Prime is scum.
Yeah, and these are big issues too. I think they're 36 pages apiece,
Oh,
right?
there's something, yeah, something like that, yeah.
Nice.
Superboy-Prime wanders the area and realizes he is in Smallville, the future. This leads him to the Superman Museum, where he is shocked to see the enormous legacy of his nemesis Superman. The tour guide is a hologram of Jimmy Olsen, who shows him through the various exhibits. This includes the Legion of Superheroes and the United Planets, both of which were inspired by Superman. Superboy-Prime is outraged to see that his own exhibit is not on display, and he is remembered as a pathetic failure. Superboy-Prime destroys the statues of every hero and slaughters the science police who try to stop him. He swears that he will destroy everything Superman has ever inspired. The Olsen hologram believes he's asking about enemies of the Legion and tells him about the Legion of supervillains. In Metropolis,
Uh-oh.
in Metropolis, EarthGov meets with the United Planets to discuss the possibility of seeding or being kicked out. Cosmic Boy, Lightning Lad, and Saturn Girl speak on Earth's behalf. The chancellors argue that the Legion is outdated and they no longer serve a purpose in the United Planets. Lightning Lass, Phantom Girl, and Shadow Lass enter the Phantom Zone to rescue Mon-El. They battle the Phantom Zoners and nearly release General Zod, but Lightning Lass destroys the Phantom Zone projector. Brainiac 5 chastises her for not simply turning it off and administers the anti-lead serum to Mon-El. They suggest that Sunboy could quickly power up Mon-El. Sunboy is still traumatized from his torture at the hands of Earthman and considers leaving the Legion. Polar Boy tries to talk him out of it. The second Karate Kid testifies against the Legion, accusing them of rampant internal strife among races. Lightning Lad angrily accuses the chancellors of forgetting how many times the Legion saved the universe. They are interrupted by R.J. Brand, who returns to speak in favor of the Legion. Superboy-Prime visits Takron Galtos to break out Cosmic King, Lightning Lord, and Saturn Queen. They greet him as a legend, explaining that he was their inspiration and he will lead them to final victory. RJ Brand explains that the Legionnaires are more than teenage superheroes. They are the people who taught Superman himself about truth, justice, and the American way. It's kind of odd in the 31st century, the American way. The Legion are a shining example of diversity and tolerance in a universe plagued by chaos and xenophobia. Leland Macaulay bursts out of the crowd and shoots Brand several times in the chest. Cosmic Boy is unable to stop him as the gun and bullets are not metallic. Dr. Jimmel tries to save Brand, but he tells the Legion to never quit and dies. Brand reverts to his Durlin form, and Macaulay triumphantly shouts that Brand was a fraud and an alien invader. So was that a new twist where Brand was at Durlin?
No, in the original
Oh.
Legion, he was the father of Chameleon Boy.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah. Because remember when during Great Darkness he went to see his son?
Yeah, but I didn't know if that. I couldn't. I didn't remember that they said he was R.J. Brand.
Ah.
I remember he had a father, but I didn't remember his Brand. Yeah. The science police descend and demand that the Legion turn in their rings so they can be questioned in the murder. Cosmic Boy snaps and knocks them away with his powers. Leland Macaulay rapidly ages before their very eyes, crumbling into dust because of the time trapper. Chameleon Girl and Colossal Boy observe the riots on Durla. With no sign of Chameleon Boy, Invisible Kid, Night Girl, and Shrinking Violet are asked to leave Nator with no sign of Dream Girl, Ultra Boy, and Ultra Boy and Timberwolf return to Earth after a battle with the Kuns. The other Legionnaires missing in action include Block, Bouncing Boy, Dawnstar, Duo Damsel, Element Lad, Matter Eater Lad, Quizlet, Sensor Girl, Tellus, Tyrock, White Witch, and Wildfire. There's a small funeral held for R.J. Brand on Earth, and the Legion discuss their future. Superman is called into the future by a special ripcord flight ring. The Legionnaires tell them that over 20,000 guards and staff were murdered on Takran Galtos. Then an S logo was burned into the surface. They play the news footage, and Superman instantly recognizes Superboy-Prime. The Legion realize they're dealing with a Superman level threat and a new legion of supervillains, and whatever controlled Macaulay to assassinate Brand. Brainiac 5 suggests that since they're dealing with a threat from an alternate universe, they should call in allies from an alternate universe. He intends to contact the second and third Legion, who they have previously teamed up with. Superman lectures them about how serious of a threat Superboy Prime represents. Despite this, Superman believes that their best option is to try and morally redeem him. Thoughts?
It's a lot.
Maybe it was just a time constraint, but I mean, modern comics, I'm surprised they didn't try to stretch this out more.
I mean, because a lot happens in 5 issues.
Oh yeah, they could have did this in 12. I'm surprised they didn't.
So it's cool because we're reading about the Legion that we saw the very end of in End of an Era, right? This is that Legion, the original Legion is what we're reading about. You know, the Great Darkness Saga Legion, right?
And I think it doesn't. Some of this have to do with Jeff Johns did like a Superman story with the Legion in Action Comics.
Yeah, and then they were also in the Legion of they were in the Justice League. You know, the Lightning Saga, I think is what it was called, or something. And plus, they mention Infinite Crisis, I think, don't they, in coming up? Because the Brainiacs remember that they all teamed up before or something like that.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
So we've seen the kind of the height of the classic Legion, and then their end. We thought. Then we saw the rebooted Legion. We saw their beginning, and kind of their end. I mean, they ran for another 3 years after Legion lost, right? And then they got canceled, and Infinite Crisis destroyed that universe, which I think they're calling Earth 247. You know, because Adventure Comics 247 was their first appearance. And then we've got the Legion that Mark Waid and Barry Kitson started after that, which is the third Legion of this bunch. Now, in the 5th issue, we get like way more Legions. We get a Legion of Legions, don't we? So I don't even know where they come from, but those are the 3 that we're focusing on, I think, for this series, right?
I'm just looking at the notes here. Yeah, it says Superboy Prime when he's discovered floating through the time stream, and it's mentioned that he was last seen during the Sinestro Corps War, which we'll get to on Sector 2814. So
that's an awesome story.
He murdered a Guardian, and the energy released by its death tore a fabric in the space-time continuum. This allowed him to travel the multiverse and countdown as Superman Prime. When he tore apart Monarch's containment suit, the explosion sent him floating through time.
To be caught by the Time Trapper, who is? We'll find out.
We'll get there, yes. It's not Rock like it was in during Zero Hour.
Exactly. It's someone else.
Oh my god, but there are so many Easter eggs in that art. It just says
Oh yeah.
The second row of portraits displaying different versions of Superman in that museum are Cal Kent of DC 1 Million, Superman of Kingdom Come, and the Tangent Superman.
Wow.
Yeah. The Hall of 1000 Olsens is in the Superman Museum is presumably named after the world of 1000 Olsens in Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen 105.
Nice.
The hall includes Super Brain Olsen from Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 22, Elastic Olsen from 37, Jupiter Jimmy from 32, the Wolfman of Metropolis from 44, the Giant Turtle Man from 53, the Human Octopus from 41, the Human Flamethrower from 33, the Human Porcupine from 65, the Fat Boy of Metropolis from 49, and Jimmy the Gorilla Reporter from Superman's pal 24.
Wow.
He had a lot of identities and a lot of
lots of adventures on his own, right?
All right. Any other thoughts, or should we get to the next one?
let's move on to the next one. We can,
Kids, that was
if you
one
want
issue.
that was one issue. Yeah. If we want, we can just kind of go through it, read the synopsis, maybe quick comment, and then save
Yeah.
our big discussion till the end,
Okay.
perhaps.
That works. All right. Final Crisis, Legion of Three Worlds, #2 from November 2008. Same team. Shikari, remember her?
Yeah.
Leads
Legion lost.
last week, leads the second Legion of superheroes through limbo, sensing that she has finally found a path to freedom. Back in the normal universe, White Witch is chained up on Sorcerer's World. The witch has visions of her alternate universe relative, Dreamer, and Shikari. Dreamer sees visions of the third Legion of superheroes in the gravesite of their dream girl. The witch also sees Superboy-Prime making his own Legion flight rings with an S carved into them using heat vision. The Time Trapper appears briefly and stops White Witch from tapping into her sister's visions, insisting that she will not interfere with tomorrow. Block, Dawnstar, and Wildfire arrive to rescue her. She warns the group that in her vision she saw legions dying and a new legion rising. Ron Vidar battles Mordru outside the castle, and the Legionnaires arrive to help. White Witch swears that Mordru will pay even if she has to delve into the black arts. Mordru
That's really kind of
dark.
scary and dark that it might happen. Yeah.
uh, yeah. Mordru calls on the skeletons of those who have died by pain and torture at his hand, including Dragon Mage, Evilo, and Glorith. Dawnstar looks for a way to escape and finds that all pathways are suddenly cut off. Superboy-Prime descends onto the planet with his new legion of supervillains. They invite him to join their legion, and Prime explains that he's going to see Legionnaires die in ways he's never seen before. Back at Legion headquarters in Metropolis, Lightning Lad argues with Superman over whether or not Prime can be redeemed. Lightning Lad, Shrinking Violet, and Timberwolf discuss breaking the Legion code to kill him if they need to. Cosmic Boy, Lightning Lass, and Polar Boy angrily refuse considering this option. Ron Vidar tries to protect the other Legionnaires with an energy barrier, rapidly draining his power ring. White Witch has just enough strength to open a portal home. Ron Vidar insists on staying behind to stall the villains, forcing everyone else through the portal. Persuader slices through Ron Vidar's barrier with his atomic axe. Prime tells Ron how much he hates Green Lanterns. The Legionnaires continue to argue. Lightning Lad lashes out at Cosmic Boy for constantly taking the position of team leader. Cosmic Boy throws him back furiously, explaining that he takes the position so Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl can have a life together. Cosmic Boy's given up his life and relationship so his friends don't have to. Block, Dawnstar, and Wildfire arrive at Legion headquarters. They desperately try to open another portal to save Ron, but White Witch is too weak. Ron Vidar fights valiantly, but he's beaten down by every member of the Legion of Supervillains. Saturn Queen brings him to his knees using her telepathic powers. Prime prepares to execute Ron, but Saturn Queen insists that Ron's father, Universo, be given a chance to speak. Universo explains that he does not care about the boy. He just wants the power ring that is rightfully his. Prime snaps Ron Vidar's neck, and White Witch feels his death all the way back on Earth. His corpse is thrown to the surface. Universo laments that Ron never joined him, as they could have ruled together, and hopes that Ron's son will fare better. The power ring flies into space looking for a replacement sentient, and Universo is furious that it escaped his grasp. Mordru attacks Prime for letting White Witch get away, and Prime laughs that his magic tickles. Cosmic Boy and Lightning Lord tell Mordru that if he joins the Legion of Supervillains, they will eradicate the Legion of Superheroes and he will have White Witch to himself. Their Legion is a temporary alliance with competing factions such as the Fatal Five and the Justice League, but they are united by a common goal. Back on Earth, Dawnstar senses that the Legion of Supervillains are coming straight for them. The Legion is still down a dozen members, but Brainiac 5 produces his lightning rod and explains that they have contingency plans. He intends to show the universe how smart he really is. The power ring is unable to locate a replacement sentient. It returns to Oa and powers down. There is a solitary figure who grabs the ring and places it into a giant pile of unused rings. The figure laments missing Mogo and the rest of his friends. Brainiac 5 takes Phantom Girl and White Witch to the Secret Sanctuary in Happy Harbor, Rhode Island. This is the secret headquarters of the original Justice League, and they grab the crystal ball used during the event Crisis on Earth 1. Brainiac 5 describes this as a sphere made up of the crystallized nexus of all Earth from all parallel universes. He believes that it will allow them to contact other worlds. Brainiac sends Dawnstar, Polar Boy, and Wildfire on a secret mission to the 20th century. Sorry, lost my place. On a secret mission in the 20th century as the Legion Espionage Squad. Mon-El and Shadowlass are sent to recover Ron Vidar's body and take it to Oa. Superman leads the remaining Legionnaires in the battle against the Legion of Supervillains. White Witch uses the crystal ball to summon 2 legions from other worlds, who she describes as a legion lost and a legion far more important to all this than she believed. They call every member of both legions, but the crystal ball explodes in the process. This leaves them with no way to send either legion home. Brainiac 5 gathers the parallel legionnaires and explains that they might not remember it, but they have met before. The third Brainiac 5 asks why they should listen to an adult, and the second Brainiac 5 tells him to show his elders respect. They bicker while the original Brainiac 5 tries to organize the groups. Sunboy sees the battle's fire from his apartment, but continues wallowing and drinking alcohol. Prime fights Superman with the Legion of Superheroes, losing and announces that he will burn a giant S into the earth itself. He insists that the S is his symbol now. Mon-El and Shadowlass arrive at Oa, where they see the remains of the central power battery. The solitary figure seen earlier asks who disturbs the resting site of the Green Lantern Corps. This man is revealed as Sodom Yat,
Who? The
Who has-
ultimate Green Lantern?
who has survived to the 30th century as the last of the Guardians of the Universe. Brainiac 5 sent Mon-El to ask him for help, as both are Daxamites. Thoughts, Will?
A lot
Again,
happened.
we're like 2 issues in. We're only 2 issues in.
Lots of Easter eggs. I'm sure you could read for 5 minutes on all the Easter eggs on this, but cool stuff happening. We got our reboot Legion, which we've seen just as much as the original Legion, I think, at this point. So, and we got the Legion that comes after, which I'm trying to figure out when they, because their book got renamed Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes for a while, and I think that was the book that was running while Final Crisis was going on. So I'm just checking for the crossovers on that. But yeah, interesting. Lots of stuff. There's a lot.
Yeah. All right. Should we jump to the next one?
You got it, man.
Again, we got 3 more issues, kids. Here we go. Open. There we go. All right, Final Crisis, Legion of 3 Worlds, number 3, April 2009. Sodom Yat cremates Ron Vidar on Oa, taking solace that this is the last time he must bury an officer of the Corps. Yat explains that they cannot call new Green Lanterns as their moral compass Mogo is dead, and any guidance Yat could give would be tainted by his own sins. Mon-El asks Sodom Yat to help them fight his old enemy, Superboy-Prime. Yat refuses as he is no longer a warrior, but Mon-El convinces him with a speech about fear. Sodom Yat charges his many power rings in the central power battery and swears that the Green Lantern Corps will live again. Again, the multiple rings thing. It doesn't increase his willpower. Back on.
Really doesn't.
I know. Back on Earth, the Legion of Superheroes and the Legion of Supervillains battle. Superboy-Prime announces that Metropolis is going to burn, starting with the Daily Planet. Stupid website. Sorry, I keep losing my place here. Starting with the Daily Planet. Superman takes Prime away from the battle to try and remind him of his home and his girlfriend, Lori Lemon, on Earth Prime. There's double L's. This only infuriates Prime, who screams at Superman not to call him Clark. Prime shoots heat vision through Superman's hand that escapes his hold. Nutrax disables Invisible Kid's powers, allowing Lazon to hit him. Dr. Regulus demands the corpse of Sunboy. Saturn Girl shuts off Nutrax to stop him from disabling their powers, and they fall back to the Daily Planet. The Justice League of Earth attacks the United Planets on behalf of the human supremacist movement. Karate Kid 2 bravely defends the EarthGov president from Tusker, but is incinerated by Radiation Roy. The president pleads for his life and is saved by Cosmic Boy, Lightning Lad, and Saturn Girl, who he had just deemed obsolete. Oi Fear crashes Colossal Boy through the roof. Mordru searches for the White Witch and releases an army of shadow demons. Block absorbs them, and Night Girl grows stronger from destroying them. Despite their efforts, the heroes begin falling in battle. The Legion of Supervillains begins burning down every statue in the Avenue of Heroes, but Superman reveals that he has reinforcements. Brainiac 5 leads every member of the Second Legion of Superheroes and the Third Legion of Superheroes into battle. Monel and Andromeda are happy to see Kal-El again. Saturn Girl and Saturn Girl shut down Saturn Queen, remarking that her cynical worldview is a sign of weakness. Saturn Girl and Saturn Girl.
Yeah.
The Legion are also shocked to see a Karate Kid and Karate Kid who are still alive. Ultra Boy is thrilled to see 3 Phantom Girls at the same time. And the alternate
he is married to one of them, right?
and the alternate universe Phantom Girls remark on how hot he has grown up. Earthman and Oivir bicker about racism, and Pharaoh crashes Golden Boy into them. Oivir boasts that he can bend iron, so Pharaoh turns into lead and defeats him. Livewire defeats Earthman and introduces himself to Lightning Lad. Brainiac 5 approaches Cosmic Boy, Lightning Lad, and Saturn Girl, explaining that this is only stage 1 of his plan. He needs every lightning wielder for stage 2 to activate his lightning rod. Gates helps them teleport around the Legion of Supervillains while complaining about this universe's lack of government integrity.
Yeah. I like Gates. We didn't ever get to see Gates, but Gates is cool.
Dawnstar, Polar Boy, and Wildfire travel back to Smallville in the 20th century as the Legion espionage squad. They visit the house of a young Lex Luthor arguing with his father Lionel Luthor. Polar Boy remarks that this is the day Lex Luthor started losing his hair and they steal a strand from his pillow. Gates and the Brainiac Fives take the lightning wielders to Legion headquarters. Using his lightning rod, Brainiac 5 helps Livewire transmute to his original body so he's no longer trapped in Element Lad's body.
From Legion Lost.
So was that just... he gave him the metal arm back, right?
Yeah, it looked like it. But I think we mentioned that after Legion Lost, there was the Legion World Series, and there was the Legion. In the Legion, since Livewire sacrificed himself to get everybody home, turns out Kid Quantum put one of those crystals there that Element Lad had used. Livewire's essence went into it, and suddenly he was back in Element Lad's body, and then they never dealt with it because they got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they fixed it now. It's fixed, except they still turned Element Lad into a psycho murdering godlike being, but whatever.
Yeah, but no, that guy's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Let it slide.
Oh wait, who is this? Someone didn't credit themselves. Love this book. It's a somewhat confusing but rewarding read for Legion fans.
Absolutely.
We did this on Legion Outpost. Hello. I like this. There's a lot going on, but as a newer Legion fan, I like this.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on? There's 3 of them. I couldn't keep all the characters of one of them straight, right?
Exactly. Lightning Lad and Lightning Lass lament that they don't hug like Livewire and Spark. Brainiac 5 explains to XS that she was not born on Earth 247 with the rest of her Legion. She was born on Earth 0 with his. He explains the original Legion of 3 Worlds event as his superior intelligence made him the only one able to remember it. Her mother was Dawn Allen of the Tornado Twins, who sought refuge from Professor Zoom on a parallel world. Dawn and Dawn Allen took their spouses, Jevin Ognatz and Melanie Thawne, to Earth 247. Zoom sabotaged the cosmic treadmill, and the explosion tore open the multiverse, bringing together 3 legions from different worlds and different times. They battled Professor Zoom and his 25th century speed soldiers, but were left stranded on an unknown parallel Earth. The Brainiacs redesigned Starman's uniform to act as a map to the multiverse. His gravity powers allowed them to open up black holes, sending everyone to their proper universe except for the Tornado Twins and their families, who stayed hidden on Earth 247. The third Brainiac 5 questions how they can be from a parallel Earth if they've interacted with Supergirl, and it's explained that time travel shifted them through the multiverse.
Okay. Absolutely.
Andromeda, Mon-El, Superman, and Cosmic Boys use their powers to tear off Superboy-Prime's armor. This makes him vulnerable to red sunlight. The third Legion, Sunboy, attacks Prime with red sunlight, but Prime quickly freezes his head and shatters it. As you do.
Ouch.
Oh, I'm sorry. It should be yes, and freezes his head and shatters it.
There we go.
The original Legion, Sunboy, feels a pain in his chest when this happens, as he is still at home dealing with PTSD and the apparent loss of his powers. Prime angrily flies through the Legion until Mon-El arrives with Sonam Yat, who catches him with his power rings. Shadowlass and Umbra use their darkness powers to drain him of solar energy. The Fatal Five begin attacking Legion headquarters with Prime incapacitated. Brainiac 5 has excess run on a cosmic treadmill while the lightning wielders give her energy. Prime realizes what they are doing with the lightning rod and flies straight through their force fields to try and stop them. He is too late to stop them from pulling another speedster out of the Speed Force. XS collapses, and it's revealed that they have brought back her cousin, Kid Flash, back from the dead.
Bart Allen.
Yes, as they will explain next episode. I remember because I was reading Bart's series, like they had aged him up to like, I don't know, like 19 or 20.
Uh-huh.
And then at the end, yeah, he was basically killed by the rogues. And I think like his evil clone, they all have evil clones.
Of course.
But yes. But I guess the next issue they explain, yes, his essence, basically his kid essence was poured out of his body into the Speed Force, and they just like beat his empty adult body to death.
Okay, cool.
So we resurrect him and DH him again.
Yeah.
Because we're bringing back Wally West. So anything, or should we just get to the next? God, we still got two more.
We got two more. Yeah, let's roll.
And I think there's more in these 5 than there was in last week's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, you needed George Perez for this.
Yes. I don't think anybody else could have done it.
I don't know if anyone else will ever pull off what he did many times.
Yeah.
All right. Final Crisis, Legion of Three Worlds, number 4, June 2009. Oh yeah, was this book running late? Because I think it seems like it's like skipping months.
Yeah, it might have been bi-monthly. I don't know, but it was a few months after the last issue of that third Legion series. I think it ended at 50, so it had been canceled. So there wasn't a Legion book at the time during Final Crisis.
Yeah. Well, like there's no Green Lantern book right now during Dark Crisis. Or
Doesn't give me
or an Aquaman book or a Green Arrow book.
Doesn't give me a lot of hope.
Again, I'm thinking January because they're promising a dawn of a new DC universe. So. All right, so in the 21st century, Starman, working as a caretaker, digs up a grave with the name Kent.
Oh, I wonder what that is.
I know. In the 31st century, the Legion continues to battle the villains while Bart Allen pounds Superboy-Prime. Brainiac 5 explains that the team of Legionnaires recently sent back in time used the lightning rod to bottle up Bart's essence before his death at the hands of the rogues. Brainiac 5 says that Dream Girl foresaw Superboy-Prime destroying Earth in a massive crisis, but vanished before she could give more details. Kid Flash knocks Superboy-Prime back into the battle when Superman and the original Lightning Lad, Saturn Girl, and Cosmic Boy are pulled through a portal to the end of time where they face the Time Trapper, who intends to kill the 4 of them. Kinetics attacks Superboy-Prime, who promptly kills her when her magic has no effect. Seeing the news reports of the battle and the casualties, the original Sunboy grabs his flight ring while Mordru absorbs Kinetics' life force and magical knowledge. The three boot, the three boot element lad turns the ground into kryptonite. Superboy-Prime laughs before he suddenly convulses in pain and promptly kills the three boot element lad by throwing a kryptonite rock right through him. Cosmic King then turns the kryptonite inside Superboy-Prime in the yellow sunlight. Mordru warns Superboy-Prime of a vision of the future, showing the Legion of Superheroes victorious, and Prime heads off to the North Pole to cut them off. At the Fortress of Solitude, the three Brainiac Fives meet Polar Boy, Dawnstar, and Wildfire with a strand of Lex Luthor's hair. The original Brainiac 5 then puts the hair inside a Kryptonian chrysalis. However, Superboy-Prime attacks, knocking all three Brainiacs out. Polar Boy fights Prime, and his ice hand is cut off when the original Sun Boy arrives to help. Wildfire uses his energies to fuel the chrysalis and resurrects Connor Kent, aka Superboy,
Who?
who then
I'm
confronts
shocked.
Superboy-Prime. Superboy and Superboy-Prime clash with the rest of the Legion joining in. At the end of time, Superman and the three founding Legionnaires attack the Time Trapper, tearing off his hood, only to realize that the Time Trapper is an aged Superboy-Prime, who claims the three heroic legions will all lose. So, with the exception of a few characters, most characters in this story have at least 2 or 3 different versions of themselves running around.
And I kind of feel sorry. It feels like Element Lad gets the short end of the stick because the Legion Lost version of him is, crazy
Yeah.
nutcase that we talked about last week. This one gets, killed by kryptonite. And I'm not sure where the original one from the original Legion is, but yeah, poor Element Lad.
I know. Yeah, no respect. Oh yeah, there was a Final Crisis Rogue's Revenge series. I'm trying to remember. I think it was all the rogues were like on the run. They're like, "Oh crap, we killed Bart Allen." Then they're all like every superhero is after us now. Oh, but then when Wally West comes back from the Speed Force, he's like, "Oh, Inertia," which was Bart's evil clone. He's like, "Oh, he was gonna make him pay for killing Bart." He doesn't kill him, but he like basically steals he steals so much of Inertia's speed. He's basically a statue.
Oh,
And he
nice.
sticks him in the Flash Museum, and he sticks him in the Flash Museum where like all he can see in front of him is Bart Allen, a statue of Bart Allen. He's like, "You're alive." He's like, and maybe in like a couple thousand years you might be able to like blink or move or something. But yeah, he's like, for the next however long, you're just gonna stand here, and all you'll be able to see is the hero you killed.
I wonder if they remember that in this continuity.
Yeah, I forget. I forget if they ever brought him back, but yeah.
Was this 2 or 3 continuities ago? I forget. Whatever.
Well, again, it was around the time. It was close to this time because it was around when it was right after Bart died. Yeah. Because in that Lightning Saga and Justice League, I think they all thought,
Yeah.
I forget if they thought Bart was coming back, but in the present, they brought back Wally West and his family who were like in another universe. Lots of returns and resurrections around this time, kids.
Yes. And I think I read Final Crisis at the time. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe it was in my to-read pile that I never got to. Did you read Final Crisis?
I did. It's been a while, but I mean, we'll get there eventually on Sector 214, the Green Lantern podcast.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll have to read it then.
Eventually, after that's after Blackest Night, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll get there. Again, it'll be between where we're at now and New 52.
Yeah.
All right. Should we do the last one?
Do it.
All right. Final Crisis, Legion of Three Worlds, number 5, September 2009. In the 31st century, Superboy-Prime fights off the three heroic legions and Superboy. At the end of time, the three founding Legionnaires and Superman battle the elder Superboy-Prime, aka Time Trapper, who reveals that he became an anomaly that couldn't be killed after being shunted into the multiverse. Plus, that he can access other alternate realities and intends to destroy the legions in each of those realities. Superboy burns a scar on Superboy-Prime's chest, which also appears on the Time Trapper's chest. The original Saturn Girl and Brainiac 5 realize that time has become fluid, leading Brainiac 5 to deduce that the Time Trapper is a rogue, sentient, alternate timeline. Say that 3 times fast. And that his identity keeps changing with time. Back in Metropolis, Mordru uses the magics he absorbed from kinetics to weaken the 3 legions and empower the Legion of Supervillains. He then launches an injurious attack on Block, forcing the White Witch to invoke one of Mordru's dark spells against Mordru that absorbed his life force into her own. Misa, now calling herself the Black Witch, uses her new magics to defeat the Legion of Supervillains. Bouncing Boy and Duo Damsel, now calling herself Duplicate Damsel, then appear, where Lu Ornu reveals that she gained the ability to make multiple copies of herself after her second body was killed in the 21st century. At the at the end of time, the original founding legionnaires used the Time Trapper's time portals to summon multiple legions from across the multiverse who managed to knock the Trapper out. The founding legionnaires and Superman then returned to the 31st century with the Time Trapper. Superboy-Prime is repulsed by what he becomes, so he punches his future self, which erases both of them. That's even better than punching through time.
Uh-huh.
I kicked my own ass.
Really hard.
I love it. The whole time the young Superboy-Prime's like, "You're stupid, stupid."
Big stupid head. I'm gonna punch you, stupid head.
That's basically what it was. The 3 Brainiacs reveal that the Time Trapper the Legion knew no longer exists, as the future was reset when Superboy-Prime punched his elder self. Is it Rock again? Oh.
Who knows?
I know. After the battle was over, Sonam Yat recharges power rings on Oa to rebuild the Green Lantern Corps. The Black Witch travels to Xerox and claims Mordru's throne. The Reboot Legion, under the guidance of Shikari, decide to travel the multiverse looking for other survivors, with Pharaoh naming the group the Wanderers. Excess, where'd I get? Hold on. Wanderers, yeah. Excess and Gates decide to stay behind and join the original Legion. The 3-Boot Legion are revealed to be from a recreated Earth Prime. Kid Flash and XS use cosmic treadmills to return the 2 legions back to where they came from. Superman returns to the 21st century with Superboy and Kid Flash. Meanwhile, a powerless Superboy-Prime wakes up on the reborn Earth Prime. He is reunited with his parents and his girlfriend Lori, who are all horrified by what he's become because they've read copies of the issues published by DC Comics from Infinite Crisis to Legion of 3 Worlds. Superboy-Prime plots his return from his fearful parents' basement, remarking, "They'll never get rid of me. I'll always survive." Was that meta commentary, the angry young man down in his basement?
I think perhaps. Perhaps. I just wanted to bring up the Wanderers. They, if I remember right,
Yeah, wasn't that like an old series or mini series DC did?
yeah,
Like I never read it, but I remember seeing like the ads for it and stuff. Yeah.
it was, I think it ran 12 issues. How many issues? 13 issues. But I seem to remember Steve Lytle, who is also sorely missed. I think worked on it after working on the Legion or before working on the Legion. It may have been after. He may have worked on the Legion after this. But yeah, it had some great covers. And they were allies of the Legion.
Mm. Oh, so they were like 30th or 31st
30th,
century. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly. And actually, it looks like the pencils are also by Dave Hoover, another Quasar artist, who's also no longer with us, unfortunately.
Nice. Oh my god, I had a bunch of the guys filling in on like one of the last Spider casts because we did this Spider-Man Howard the Duck team up,
Mhm.
and Russell just out of nowhere made a Quantum Zone joke. I was like, oh my God, you dug deep for that.
It has been a while.
I was like, okay, I know what you're shooting for. Okay.
What about our Quasar podcast, The Quantum Zone?
Nice.
That's right, kids. All episodes of the Quantum Zone on our YouTube channel.
156.
There's a whole playlist, kids. I think Ray said he was re-listening.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's very cool.
Instead of sending us feedback on the current stuff, he's going to go back and
and probably send feedback again on that stuff.
Hey guys, my second listen through.
Yeah, you missed this. Sorry.
Hey, all our stuff's good, kids. On the podcast, on the YouTube. Yeah, you should listen to our stuff 2-3 times. Yeah, so you pick up everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh,
All right.
what did as a new Legion reader, relatively new, what did you think of this?
There was a lot going on. There was 2 or 3. I mean, it could have felt overwhelming, but I almost felt more comfortable with this just because there were so many familiar elements like Superman, Kid Flash, Superboy. And again, like I said, I remember, when how Bart Allen got killed and Connor Kent got killed. So I'm like, okay, so I knew they had been resurrected in this series, but I had never read it before. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, so even though there's probably like more going on in this week's issues than any of the previous weeks we've done, I felt more comfortable just because there was more familiar stuff for me. Yeah.
More of regular DC continuity touchstones. Yeah. That makes sense. The thing.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention. Yeah, Connor Kent was killed in Infinite Crisis after because I think the Dido wanted to originally kill Dick Grayson. And I think a lot of the office was like, no, you don't kill Dick Grayson. You'll have riots on our hands. I think there was even a story somewhere where like the Dido was traveling, and I don't know if like rumors had gotten out that they were thinking about killing Dick Grayson. And I think he said like the baggage handler at the airport was like, he's like, wouldn't give him his bags until he promised he wasn't going to kill Nightwing.
Nice.
I'm here for that.
Excellent. Of course, George Perez, the art was amazing.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that I found, and even having read Old Legion, New Legion, and even some of the, 3-boot Legion, is I found it hard. Okay, which Brainiac am I reading about right here? Okay, long hair one is the regular one. Okay, good. Okay, which Cosmic Boy, which Livewire, which versions was I reading about? Because they are a little bit different, across them. I still have a lot of love for the reboot Legion. I feel like that was my Legion, from 0 Hour up until Infinite Crisis.
I mean, I'm sure by the time we hit New 52, all this becomes moot, but it almost seemed like they were just like, yeah, for the most part, it's like, oh, we can use any of the Legions now that we want, any of these 3 Legions or
Although I feel like the reboot Legion kind of got the short end of the stick as well, because their whole universe got destroyed. So
yeah,
they're wanderers now. But it's got some great I mean, I feel like they kind of cherry picked the characters. They kept Gates.
Yeah, Gates stays behind because think about it, he doesn't have a double here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did notice that Monstrous. I saw her in a couple panels in the background, so she was from maybe a different Legion or something, or when they brought in all the other Legions. I saw her pop in, or so. I think I saw her in a panel or two, which I thought was kind of cool because she was the the one killed for Legion Lost, right?
Yeah. So well, again, it's like they didn't do much with her, but yeah, there were so many characters. There was no, there was no lot of.
There was no way, yeah.
And again, George Perez. I mean, 99% artists. I mean, there would have been too much rushing. That arc could have gone sideways. It's like, yeah, you needed George Perez. This was tailor made for George Perez.
Yep. I mean, and he knocked it out of the park. It
As
was
always,
absolutely awesome. And I think there's a hardcover and a trade of this.
I think I saw something. It was reprinted in something. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's been reprinted at least once, and it's on DC Universe Infinite too, kids.
Nice.
So yeah, you can find this pretty easily enough. Yeah, I think at a certain point, it's like back in the day they weren't reprinting everything, but I don't know at this point around Final Crisis if they were reprinting everything, but I mean by the time we get to New 52, I think they start reprinting like everything
Yeah, every book gets a
in trade
trade after
trades. Yeah,
4 or 5, 6 issues, and then the next one and the next one. Yeah, it was. This one was, and I guess still need to read Final Crisis. I guess I don't remember reading it. Maybe I slept. I don't know, but I think this was something really good that came out of Final Crisis. This series.
yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed this.
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember Final. It's been a while since I read Final Crisis. I know Hal's in it. Wait, yeah, that was Final Crisis. Yeah.
It was what, September of 2009 or something? Let me look it up real
I think
quick.
that was the last number 5. It said I think it was September 2009. That's the one where Darkseid sends Batman back through time, and that's when Dick
Oh
Grayson
yeah.
becomes Batman. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. When Darkseid sends Batman through time.
Batman, my favorite character.
I don't know if he's even going to listen to this, but it's. But he's like 50 minutes. I thought I was free.
Nope.
I don't know. It's Legion of Superheroes. I don't know if Ray's going to hear this.
Ray's not gonna hear this.
Okay, it looks like Final Crisis ran in 2008 to March of 2009. So this ended in September of 2009.
That's what I'm
So
saying. I'm
this,
not sure if this was late or
yeah, maybe it was, but
which again I wouldn't even blame him because I mean even with the talent of George Perez, I mean look how much he had how many characters he had. This was like another Crisis on Infinite Earths level book.
yeah, 5 issues of it that are all 32, 36 pages. I mean,
Yeah.
geez, this was a lot of pages.
And if this wasn't George Perez, this could go very sideways because once again, there's 2 to 3 versions of every character running around.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see, Green Lantern. Okay, so Final Crisis hit Green Lantern around 2005, so 30, so around 38 maybe. Let's see, what's that?
I was gonna say
That's Rage. That's Rage of the Red Lanterns is 38.
okay. I was gonna say I think wasn't Final was Final Crisis the one that started with like was it Orion I think got murdered and like Hal and whoever else I think they were investigating. They're like who could murder a new god? I think that's Final Crisis.
Secret Origin was right before then, so that was all in the past. So
Yeah.
it may have been oh, there was a Final Crisis Rage of the Red Lanterns, wasn't there, like a one shot?
Yeah.
Okay, that may be what I'm thinking of because I think Secret Origin ran and then it was Rage of the Red Lanterns
Yeah.
after that was the next crossover. So
Once again,
cool.
kids. I don't know about next year, but the year after that, definitely. But I think, yeah.
We've
I
got
mean,
lots of Green Lantern to do.
yeah, on Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. Yeah, if you're subscribed to this feed, yeah, you get it. So, yeah, we'll get the Final Crisis eventually and everything leading up to it. I mean, at least on the Green Lantern side. So,
Well, then we get a cool, a kind of a nod, kind of cool that the Green Lantern Corps may be dead, but it's starting again in this timeline. So that's kind of cool. Sodom Yat's still around. So that's kind of nice. I mean, and Jeff Johns was the writer, so you would kind of expect hopefully a little bit of Green Lantern love, right? A little bit.
exactly.
Let me think. So after this, the Legion would not be seen again until New 52, where they got a brand new series, right? I think that's right. I could be
I
wrong,
think so.
but I think that's
You know
right.
better than me. I mean, but that'd be about 2 years after this.
Yeah. So very cool. There's let's see, the reboot Legion, the original Legion, the 3-boot Legion. Then there's the Retro Boot Legion and New 52. And then there's Rebirth.
So basically, this was almost like the final story for those three legions until New 52 hit and reset
I
everything.
guess, and I didn't read any of the New 52 Legion, so that's something I'm going to have to remedy, I think.
Yeah, me too.
And then it looks like there's a Rebirth series.
Maybe.
Oh, that's the. Sorry, we're not going to mention that series. Never mind.
Oh my.
Because I know it will lead to something, and we're just not going to go there right now. So, but yeah, it looks like the 3-boot Legion. There's this really good. It's CosmicTeams.com, and it has some pretty good articles on the Legion, JLA, and other things. But it talks about each of the the original Legion, the reboot, the 3-boot, and then the other versions of the Legion as well. So and I think they were basically 50 issues, right? Yeah, 50. They were in the Legion of Superheroes, Volume 5, 1 through 16 was Legion of Superheroes. Then 17 through I think 36. No, 15 through 36. It was Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes, and then 37 through 50 it was Legion of Superheroes, I think. So, but yeah, they only appeared in those series. There that really single series and Legion of Three Worlds. So that's it.
All right, kids, here's the plan, and you need to back me up on this. When I come home with a giant stack of back issues of Legion of Superheroes, my wife yells at me, "Remember, children, it was all Will's fault."
Exactly. It's all my fault.
Oh, no. I forgot our protocol. It's all Will's fault.
Exactly. That's the protocol. I mean,
Oh,
look at my Funko Pops over there. Yeah.
Oh, hey, I think I told you. Yeah, she's talking about coming up here for in December. So maybe like close to Christmas time. I was like, oh, we could go back issue shopping. She goes, that's what I was thinking.
Yay. Nice. So, Phil, my friend.
Oh, that's right.
Podcaster Extreme.
We come to the end of the road.
How has your Legion experience been for the
I
past
enjoyed
5
it.
weeks?
Again, like I said before, I enjoyed it. I know when I'm reading something and I get the hankering to read more and more of the various series. Yeah, I know I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, I want to get more familiar with the Legion. So
It's a lot of cool stories.
oh yeah. Especially since I know so much about a lot of the DC characters, when I hit something where I'm not as familiar, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to, and Legion's a big thing. I'm like, I want to know about this.
Yeah, and you can go down the rabbit hole when you start researching these characters on the good old internet, man. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, and various versions of the Legion. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. So anything else? William, how did you enjoy your experience here this month?
It has reignited my my love of the Legion. I hadn't read them in a very, very long time, and this reminded me why I liked them in the first place, and makes me kind of want to see what issues I'm missing and start filling in some of those runs. Like the reboot Legion, finish off the 3-boot, and maybe read all those. And I don't know if I have the fortitude for New 52 yet, but I'll build up to that. Right?
Yes. But yeah, thank you for joining me again, just for filling in, and too, yeah, just like, yeah, sharing your love of the Legion. Yes, I think it's contagious now, so I have it. So
Awesome. Pass it on.
oh hey,
Infect others.
hey, if you want to come back towards the end of the year, we're going to be doing some DeMatteis Justice League, so we're going to be getting the One Punch eventually here. So
Okay. that might be interesting. I don't know.
When you know who punches out, you know who.
I
I
have
fight Ray for that. Ah.
I have that issue, and I'm curious to see how that league holds up. I mean,
Yeah.
he's such a great writer, and but there's a lot about that league in particular, because it's so much comedy. I feel like sometimes at the expense of the
Yeah,
characters that I don't know how it. Part of me wants to go back and read it. Another part of me is like, remember it fondly and move on. you know.
exactly. All right, but for the rest of you, yes, or if Will wants to join or listen in, yes. Next, next month we're going to pander to Ray because yes, next week we're going to be doing the 4-issue Black Canary series from 1991. Then in 2 weeks we'll be doing the first 6 issues of the Black Canary from 1993, and then in 3 weeks we'll be doing issue 7 and 12 from the Black Canary from 1993.
Nice.
So send your feedback, Ray.
Are you? It wasn't too long after that Birds of Prey started up, right? And she was teamed up with Oracle,
Yeah, I think yeah.
which is a really. It had some limited series to start out, and then it finally got an ongoing. That was a really good series. I think Chuck Dixon was the writer during those early issues, and he had
Yeah,
some really great artists too.
Yeah, we don't have them on the schedule. We're gonna have to swing back to those eventually. No, I was mentioning that some of those Demon Taste Justice Leagues towards the end of the year, but there's like 1 week we're gonna do like the first 4 issues. I think it's his Doctor Strange or Doctor Fate run because I know before, but he even mentioned it again last time I talked to him. He loves like the mystical side of like Doctor Fate, Doctor Strange. He loves that.
Oh, and it was so obvious when he was doing the Spectre series, with Hal, which I really didn't want to like. I really didn't because I didn't. I thought that Hal as the Spectre was just not. It just didn't work on so many levels for me.
Yeah.
But the story that he told with Hal as the Spectre is really really good. And I've read half that series now, and I do want to finish reading it. So.
I mean, he's a great writer, but I bet you like that Spectre series is probably better than any like Hal Jordan Green Lantern series he would have written.
Yeah, definitely.
Just because he loves that mystical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, should we get out of here?
Let's do it.
All right, and yes, kids, if you just listen to this show, yes, if you love the Mr. Will Allred, and who doesn't, you can catch him every week on Sector 2814 right here on Capes&Lunatics Sidekicks.
The Green Lantern podcast.
Yes, and we go in order, kids. Yeah, we're in Cal Rayner era right now. We're around right at the beginning of the year 2000. And like I said, we're going to be going right in order, so we'll be hitting all the Infinite Crisis and Final Crisis and Blackest Night and New 52 and all that jazz.
Like 85 issues ago, we just started with number 1 of the 1990 series. So
yeah, after we did like 3 issues of some like background. Yeah, we just started number 1 in Green Lantern. Yep, and just
plowed on through.
All right, so yes, your comprehensive Green Lantern guide. So yes, join us there every week. But and yes, like I said, Black Canary next week. Lilith Hellfire returns. So send us your thoughts. Send your feedback. Yell at Lilith. Email us, CapesandLunatics or again, send your Legion feedback. I'll read it with Lilith. Yeah, just let Lilith know how much you loved Mr. Will Allred here. All right, so email us. CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find Unlimited Justice on Facebook, on Twitter. You can join the Justice League Justice Society Facebook fan group. Find links to all the various DC and Marvel shows we do over the 2 feeds. The YouTube channel, again, this and every other episode we do, including all the interviews and everything we do, gets a link or gets a video on YouTube. So smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any of it.
Smash it.
And the Patreon, most importantly, if you can, please subscribe. Once again, we're paying for this out of our own pocket. Every little bit helps. With $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including another great writer, Mr. DG Chichester.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
And speaking of Lilith Hellfire, speaking of pain, superhero movie brackets. We will find the worst superhero movie of all time. The year's almost over. Got myself back. Oh, it's great entertainment for the rest of you. It's just watching some of these bad movies because we watch the bad movies before you kids.
It's so painful.
I know Will did 1 month and he's still
I'm
shaking.
scarred. Yeah. Let's see. Wait. Yeah. This is the old Blazing Saddles joke, right? Yeah, but this is my shooting hand.
So yeah, please subscribe to the Patreon or pick up some Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Find it at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. All right, Mr. Will Allred, if these Unlimited Justice people haven't got enough of you, where can they find your other podcast, your Kickstarter comic, and all your social media? Where can they get a hold of you?
You can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED, and that gets you Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and probably other social media that I've forgotten that I've set up. If you want to find out more about my comics work, I write a book called Crossover Division that's funded 4 issues on Kickstarter so far, and another book called you can find out more about it at crossoverdivision.com, Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And Phil is not the only podcaster that I annoy. I also annoy fellow writer Kevin Joseph, and every Friday night we do a live podcast called Explain Yourself, where we talk comics with comics creators on Kickstarter that have live projects, which is pretty cool. In fact, a certain friend of, I assume, this podcast and certainly our podcast will be on Explain Yourself in next month at some point to discuss his launch, which will be really cool.
Big name, kids, yeah.
And if you want to find out more about Quasar, and let's face it, who doesn't? Because he's awesome. You can always find out more about Quasar at the Quantum Zone at quantumzone.org.
I'll put it in my navel.
Yeah, boys, you look at the party. I love the party. I am God. Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
Thank you for joining us again. Thank you once again, Mr. Will Allred. Thank you all for listening. Again, Lilith is back next week
to see what we have wrought.
She's probably like, I don't care.
What's the name of this podcast again, Phil?
Unlimited Justice.
Get some. I just can't do it as well as her. I try, though.
Get some. All right, kids, remember, the future is now. Good night. Get some.